Fine. I'll be the asshole who explains this one. Let me put things in perspective for you. Imagine it's a Wednesday morning, and some crazy person in a panic runs up to you and screams, "I ran out of Tuesday and I don't know what to do because I won't be able to get any more until next week." What? That is what it's like talking to people about COVID-19 these days. There is only one piece of data that matters, and it's this chart right here. This chart is from the CDC. It shows the amount of deaths per week. As any idiot can see, we're past it. The deaths are plummeting back down to zero. That slope is continuous, even though we removed the lockdowns for a little while, and then we re-locked down. We did it. We flattened the curve. We flattened the only curve that matters, the amount of people actually dying from the virus. But yet, when you turn on the news, all they talk about is cases. Oh my God, cases are going up. I don't care about cases, especially when most of them are asymptomatic, which by definition means that these people aren't showing any symptoms. So if they aren't showing any symptoms, how sick are they? They're so not sick that they don't even know they're sick. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the amount of deaths. And we're done. We made it. We're through this. And here's the thing. That's if you believe the CDC data, which I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. The data is kind of in question. Let me give you an example. Earlier this week, Orlando Fox 35 News reported some discrepancy in the COVID-19 data for Florida, the state that I'm in right now. According to Fox 35 Orlando, Orlando Health reported a 98% positivity rate. So in other words, out of every 100 people that they tested, they were reporting that 98% of them were infected. When Fox 35 Orlando asked them about their data, it turned out that it was really only 9.4%. So they inflated the numbers for infection by over 10 times. Orlando Veterans Medical Center did the exact same thing. They reported 76% of their tests came back positive. And when they got called on their bullshit, they readjusted the number to a confirmed 6%. Again, they inflated the numbers by over 10 times. So obviously, like in the case of Orlando Health, where you're saying that almost 100% of the people that you're testing are infected, and you're not talking about if that infection is asymptomatic, if it's actually a problem, if this is something life-threatening, everybody freaks out. Okay, so the data is kind of in question here, but I'm willing to accept what we're seeing with the CDC graph, and we'll use those numbers. But when we look at that, we did it. We accomplished it. We flattened the curve. People aren't dying anymore. So, who's dying? That's the other thing. Like, this small number of people that are still dying because of this, who's dying? Well, let's look at this chart, also from the CDC. This chart compares the Spanish flu, which is kind of what we expected this to be, to COVID-19. And again, this is all CDC data. When we look at this, we notice a couple really interesting things. It's not even a blip on the graph until age 45. And in that group, 45 and older, the only people that are dying are the unhealthy people. So why the fuck have we locked the schools down? Look at the graph. Why the fuck are colleges still locked down? Look at the graph. It's not until age 45 that it even matters. And the only reason that that matters is because of how unhealthy the people are that are in those age groups. So let's look at this. CDC data again. Percentage of adults age 20 and over who are obese. It's 39.8%. This is using 2015-2016 data. It's the newest that I could find. So 40% of our population is obese. Now, if you take the people that are overweight, meaning unhealthily overweight, and add to that the people that are suffering from obesity, you get 71.6%. So you're telling me that less than a third of our population is healthy. So yeah, when less than a third of our population is healthy and a new virus hits, expect people starting in the group of age 45 and above to start to die from this. But here's the thing. We also need to pay attention to life expectancy. So let's look at this chart. The source for this is the World Bank. This is what you get if you Google life expectancy in USA. You end up with this chart. Okay, so in 1960, life expectancy was a little under 70, and where this chart ends, 2017 data, it's a little bit less than 80. So at age 80, living inside the US, you're kind of expected to die at that point. Now, here's what's really interesting though. Since 1960 to now, even though our population got more and more and more unhealthy, life expectancy went up by like 10 years. Yay, medical technology, right? So, is it really that big of a surprise that if life expectancy has gone up by 10 years and our population has become less healthy, that when something new like this COVID-19 virus hits that population, that you might knock down the life expectancy again? Yeah, duh. So let's go back to this chart. If life expectancy is going to be under 80, and you're telling me that things don't really get interesting on this chart until the 75 to 84 group, you're basically telling me that people that were about in that age to die, who are unhealthy, when they get hit with a brand new virus, they die. Big surprise. The point is this. This whole thing's fucking bullshit at this point. If you're young, you have nothing to worry about. If you're healthy at just about any age, you have nothing to worry about. If, however, you've spent the last decade or more not giving a shit about your health, surprise, turns out us assholes telling you to put down the fucking cheeseburger and go to the gym were correct. Being unhealthy has a cost. But here's the thing. You have the option of staying home. You can stay home and lock yourself away from the germs of the world if you want. That's your option. But it's literally unconstitutional to tell those of us that are healthy and not at risk that we can't leave our homes and enjoy a normal life. And here's the thing. For those of you who are unhealthy, that want to voluntarily stay at home, You need the healthy people out there delivering you food and medicine and running the infrastructure of society and keeping the economy going. You need us out there. I'm done with this. This is fucking bullshit. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to start living a normal goddamn life again. If you agree with what I'm saying here, share this video everywhere you can.